Thursday, May 28th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic. Today marking 3 years since the start of the devastating wildfires in Upper Tantallon as the rebuild continues. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And Ocean Week is about to make a splash. We're diving deep into the celebrations and ways to keep our ocean playground sparkling. That is in our 7 o'clock hour.
And the Walk for Dog Guides. We'll get the details on a fun weekend event in Halifax that supports a great cause. All that and so much more just ahead on the Thursday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Well, hello. You caught us while we're putting a show on. We're so happy that you're joining us 6 a.m., 6:01 exactly right now, 6:30 in Newfoundland and Labrador. So glad you can join us. I hope you're warm and dry. I walk the dogs for a little early morning walk. That's a new routine I'm starting today.
Ooh, early
It went fine, but I had to actually wear, like, I wore my pajamas actually out to do the walk because they got soaked.
Yeah.
And then because it was so rainy at that time. I don't know at the moment what it's like, but I had to, like, and then I put my work clothes on.
Oh, the professional clothes.
Yes.
And I know how you mentioned this yesterday too, Latavia, but oh, wow, is it ever cold? Like, it's hard to believe that the calendar says May 28th because it's not only wet, but really cold out there.
It's like that in the Maritimes this time of year. It doesn't really get super warm and consistently so till I'd say July. But
consistently,
we get our nice days here and there. Today I don't think is one of them necessarily.
No, this is lower than typical.
Oh, wow.
Our current temperatures, our daytime highs. Feeling quite cold across the region today. As you mentioned, it is a wet start to the day, so keep that in mind when you are heading out as well. We are seeing a chance of showers for much of the region early on, and then we'll transition over to steadier showers a little bit later this morning into the afternoon. So here's a live look at Bedeck. You can see it's cloudy over there. Currently not seeing much precipitation, but just keep that in mind. Don't forget your rain gear when heading out. As of right now, it is 6 degrees in Halifax, 5 starting off your day in Sydney, 6 in Charlottetown with 8 degrees in Fredericton, 4 degrees starting off your day in Labrador City, and 1 into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a wind warning now in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island until this afternoon. Could see wind gusts getting up to 90. Here's a look at the current system tracking across the region. We are going to see some wet weather across much of Atlantic Canada throughout the day today. Very few sunny breaks into the afternoon, and for the most part also going to be quite a breezy day ahead. As of right now, we're looking at sustained wind, 43 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 31 into North Cape, 24 in Canso, with 17 in Lunenburg, as well as into Fredericton. Wind gusts getting up to 67 right now in Grand Etang, 33 kilometers per hour in Canso, and 28 in Charlottetown. We'll take a look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Talks between the Nova Scotia government and striking long-term care workers didn't last long. CUPE, the union representing 3,500 workers on the picket line, says talks with the conciliator broke down fairly quickly Wednesday. The union says its amended offer lowered the previous proposal by millions of dollars, but the government turned it down. Pay and working conditions are the main issues. No further talks are scheduled. Newfoundland and Labrador is the latest province to declare gender-based violence an epidemic. The provincial government announced the move yesterday, following in the footsteps of other jurisdictions, including Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Newfoundland and Labrador's Minister of Women and Gender Equality says the declaration acknowledges the urgency of the problem and the need for collective action to prevent it. The province is also establishing a 12-person committee whose members represent government, survivors, and Indigenous women. An unscheduled price adjustment overnight means you will be paying less to fill up at pumps in Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick. Beginning with PEI, gas fell for a second time this week, this time by 4.6 cents. The minimum price now $1.91.4 a litre. And diesel on the island slipped by 2.3 cents. The minimum price now $2.25.9. And in New Brunswick, gas dropped by 9.1 cents. The maximum price now $1.86 a litre. And diesel decreased by 7.3 cents. The maximum price now $2.26.1 a litre. Prices in Nova Scotia did not change. Today marks 3 years since the start of the devastating wildfires in Upper Tantallon. Despite the mass destruction to homes, a major challenge still exists. In fact, a citizens group is demanding an end to development on one road until an emergency exit is built. Long lines and traffic jams formed when residents were told to leave during the last fires. Residents say an egress is desperately needed.
We need a connection from the 103 to the 101 yesterday.
That's how important it is. As soon as possible. We can't kick this can down the road another 3 years. Something has to be done. Something has to be done right away.
A staff report on egresses is set to come to council in July. John Young says he hopes to have locals' perspectives heard. Long-promised reform of New Brunswick's property tax system was tabled on Wednesday. The Liberals insist it will ensure stable and predictable home assessments, but municipalities, which have been lobbying for change, argue the legislation falls short.
Doesn't talk about a fix for the growing inequities that are created by the spike protection mechanism. As an example, there's no language with respect to exemptions.
New Brunswickers have told us that they are worried about unpredictable property tax bills, unclear processes for property assessments, and confusion over where the money from their property taxes is being spent.
Tax rates will shift from assessed value to service needs. Population growth and the consumer price index. Councils could still increase tax rates, but would have to explain why. The changes take effect next March. There are new rules coming into effect for bouncers and bar security staff in Nova Scotia. The province says the changes are part of broader amendments to the Liquor Control Act and are designed to strengthen public safety in response to, quote, incidents involving bar security employees and patrons. Halifax bouncer Alexander Levy was recently convicted of manslaughter in the 2022 death of Ryan Sawyer outside the Halifax Ale House. Levy put Sawyer in a chokehold during an altercation outside the establishment, and he died. Levy is appealing that conviction, but the Minister of Service Nova Scotia, Jill Balser, has said the review was influenced by the case. So, starting June 1st, all security staff at Nova Scotia bars will be required to get criminal record checks and complete mandatory safety and responsible alcohol serving training. The Restaurant Association of Nova Scotia says it welcomes the change. Now to a rare and spectacular sighting in the Greater Toronto area early yesterday morning, where what appeared to be a meteor lit up the sky. Take a look.
The full cast audio editions. Listen on Audible.
The sighting captured on dashcam was from a community just north of Toronto. Meteors are streaks of light that appear when a space rock or meteorite enters the Earth's atmosphere and burns up at high speed. So cool.
Is that not how Superman got to Earth? I'm pretty sure it was something like that.
Oh, that is a good point.
Yeah, you're on par.
So maybe somebody could go in the field and just see if there's anybody there, but that's cool.
We're in good hands. Maybe inspect it closer and you somehow get superpowers as well. It could be someone's origin story.
There's a story after the story, you know, that we need to send a reporter to find. Okay. All right, let's get serious for a second.
Send Lois Lane. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, she's a reporter too, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you could play the role of Lois Lane. You'd be amazing at that.
Oh my gosh, Henry Cavill, no.
All right, now we'll get serious. The makers of Ozempic are slashing their prices to compete with the generic brand. Danish drug maker Novo Nordisk has announced that some Canadians will be able to buy the brand name Ozempic at a reduced price. It comes as 2 generic versions of Ozempic and Wegovy have started arriving at Canadian pharmacies. The discounts will kick in tomorrow and will be available to eligible Canadians who don't have public or private coverage. So just an interesting note.
All right, we're going to take our first break here on this Thursday morning. Still ahead, I'll have a look at your national and international news headlines, and Latavia has more on the wet and cool forecast. Have those layers handy today because it is chilly, and it's a great start to the day in uptown St. John. Good morning to our viewers from the Port City. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 6:12. We're taking a live look at Port de Grave. 1 degree starting off your day. Expecting mainly cloudy skies today as flurry activity actually begins to clear out of your area. So it is cold to start right across the region. As of right now, it is 6 degrees in Halifax with 5 in Sydney, 6 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown, 8 in Fredericton, 1 degree in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a wind warning currently issued for parts of Cape Breton Island until this afternoon, expecting wind gusts to get up to 90 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. For the most part, we do have active weather across the region. Looking at a chance of showers early this morning for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Newfoundland and Labrador going to see periods of drizzle and or mainly cloudy skies. We also have a chance of flurry activity for parts of Newfoundland. Into the afternoon, much of the same. That chance of showers becomes steadier showers for the maritime region. That takes us into tonight. Another cold night is ahead, and we are going to see wet weather slowly begin to clear out, but still remaining for parts of the maritime region on Friday. Clears out for the upcoming weekend. So if you're wondering about precipitation totals, going to be lighter than even yesterday's forecast, but we are going to see some accumulation here, picking up to 10 to 20 millimeters for Charlottetown, parts of eastern Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island, heaviest being 30 to 40 millimeters for Sydney. Newfoundland and Labrador only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for Port aux Basques. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs will range from 7 to 13 degrees. Scattered showers expected throughout your day today, and pretty light wind out of the north, only 20 kilometers per hour. For Prince Edward Island, looking at highs between 7 to 8 degrees. A rain expected throughout your day today, wind gusts getting up to 40. And then for Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia, also seeing periods of rain throughout the day. Highs will range from 6 to 9 degrees. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, cooler as well today, but a little bit warmer than we saw in eastern Nova Scotia. Daytime highs will range from 9 to 15 degrees. Looking at showers throughout your day today with wind gusts of 40. For Labrador City, 12 degrees today with mainly cloudy skies. 5 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a chance of flurries clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies this afternoon. Periods of drizzle move in this evening. For Friday's forecast, another wet day is ahead. We do have a bit of a wintry mix for parts of Cape Breton Island. Temperatures remain below seasonal for our daytime highs. Into our forecast for Friday night, showers continue. And then for our forecast for Saturday, we start to see this system break down. Still holding on to some shower activity early Saturday morning, but we are going to see a bit of sunshine return for parts of the maritime region. So that's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 6:14. Canada's Natural Resources Minister has confirmed a deal to supply liquefied natural gas to Germany.
In a moment that feels uncertain and volatile, the world trusts Canada.
A German utility agreed to buy 1 million tons of LNG a year for 20 years from a yet-to-be-built plant in northern British Columbia. Germany is trying to diversify its energy suppliers. The company used to get their supply from Russia. Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada is shifting away from the U.S. for partnerships. Yesterday, Carney announced he is working on a deal with Sweden to purchase a cutting-edge aerial surveillance system that will be installed on Canadian jets. Judy Trin has the details.
At a crowded defense conference, the Prime Minister announced a joint Swedish-Canadian venture.
Canada has entered into negotiations to procure Saab's airborne early warning and control aircraft.
Saab's Global Eye surveillance system is built on the platform of Bombardier's corporate jet. The company has at least 40 aircraft in its pipeline to be sold to Canada and other allies.
We'll be militarizing it here in Canada, not only for our own needs, but for export.
3,000 jobs could be created. Economic spin-offs are in the tens of billions of dollars.
What this will do is create a new layer of job opportunities in terms of the modifications of the aircraft. So what Bombardier is doing now is getting actively involved in the discussions to create this secondary production.
Saab beat its American competitor for its surveillance aircraft. Momentum that could improve its chances in another jet deal, selling Swedish Gripen fighters to Canada.
We can show now as a company and as a country how closely we want to work with Canada.
At the Lockheed Martin booth, the F-35 simulator and its test pilot attracts interest but not buzz. Amid U.S. trade tensions, moving forward with procuring fighter jets has been paused for more than a year, worrying Canadian suppliers who have much to lose if the F-35 isn't selected.
Direct jobs, but also strengthening the company's programs and capabilities.
Wrapping up the negotiations for these surveillance planes will likely take a few more months. As for a decision on the fighter jets, the federal government is still refusing to say when. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Also in Ottawa, Liberal MP Stephen Guilbeault formally announced he will be resigning his seat in the House of Commons this summer. The former Liberal cabinet minister says he's not happy with his party's changes to environment policies. CTV's Mike Lecouture has more.
I leave proud of what we have accomplished together.
In an emotional speech, Stephen Guilbeault announced he's leaving politics, but not abandoning the fight against climate change. Last year's energy deal between the federal government and Alberta, which included the possible construction of a pipeline, caused him to quit cabinet. And he's worried it'll put Canada's emission reduction targets out of reach.
We're not committing to being carbon neutral by 2050. We're saying something like we'll strive to be carbon neutral, but we know that we won't be able to achieve.
The Quebec MP says Canada has taken its foot off the gas in the fight against climate change, a shift Guilbeault says has happened since last year's election.
That platform, so commitments that we made to Canadians, mentioned climate change 28 times. It did not mention pipeline once.
Hours before those comments, Prime Minister Mark Carney defended his government's environmental record while also praising Guilbeault's work.
We worked together when I was UN Special Representative on climate action and finance as well, so we worked together closely in a variety of areas, and I've always enjoyed working with him.
While Guilbeault feels the Liberals have watered down climate change policies, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre countered that argument.
Mr. Guilbeault's radical anti-development agenda, which Mr. Carney enthusiastically advocated in his own book, all of that remains in place.
His departure was also celebrated by Alberta's premier, who once called Guilbeault radical.
I'm glad to see him go. I think that he has done more to damage national unity probably than any other politician.
Guilbeault wouldn't say what he'll do next, but he did say he's not the only member of the Liberal caucus who's uncomfortable with what's happening on climate change.
CTV's Mike Lecouture reporting in Ottawa. Another break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll have your top business headlines and your must-see moment from TSN. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100.
All right, it is now 6:23 on this Thursday morning. It's May 28th. Last Thursday in May feels like maybe the last Thursday in March.
I know.
Or April.
It's funny because this is the same weather pattern that our friends out in the prairies are under, but they're getting that high heat and we're getting that extreme cold. So what's going to happen is eventually this pattern will shift, but it's taking a bit of time.
Yeah.
And we are going to start to see temperatures moderate back to seasonal at least. But yeah, it's cold.
It does happen. It does happen. Interesting, my daughter is just in Germany. Her first day is today. She's going to be doing a couple of races.
Ooh, exciting.
Which is exciting, but it's really warm there. They're having a record heat wave in Germany.
Wow, yes, yes, yes.
You know what's the thing about the weather? It's never boring. Never, ever boring.
Mm-hmm. Very
People could say the same thing about sports.
That's true.
Certainly my husband says that. It's time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hey everyone, Wesley Chang here inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, let's head to Baltimore as Orioles hosting the Rays and Jonathan Heasley on the mound for Tampa, making his first Major League appearance since 2024. Not feeling so well, and there's proof. Moments later, more puking from the Rays pitcher. Yeah, maybe it was something he ate. Either way, able to crack a smile, laugh it off. He'd stay in the game, but that brief delay worthy enough to be our must-see moment. And tune in right now to TSN to catch our continuing coverage of Roland Garros, as Felix Auger-Aliassime and Vicky Mboko will both be in action today. That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Well, Crystal, you weren't wrong.
Exactly. You didn't see that coming. Oh my gosh, our apologies if you were eating during that small segment.
All right, now we're going to switch gears and take a look at your business headlines from our colleagues over at BNN.
The banks reported strong earnings for the second quarter, despite some concerns about the Canadian economy. Scotiabank says its second quarter profit hit $2.6 billion, up from just over $2 billion a year ago. Its domestic banking business did well, but the CEO did point out stressors on the Canadian economy, including higher energy costs and the upcoming CUSMA review. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar down to 72.29. West Texas Intermediate down over $5 to 88.68. Western Canadian Select down over $2 at 75.58. And the TSX lost 241 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Merle Fernandez.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast, 11 degrees for your daytime high today in New Brunswick. Scattered showers expected across the province. 13 degrees on Friday, still holding on to some isolated showers before clearing out into the weekend. Sunshine returns with a high of 14. For Nova Scotia, looking at 9 degrees today with showers across the province. 10 degrees on Friday, mainly cloudy skies with isolated showers. And then on Saturday, sunshine returns. We do have a high of 12 and evening showers. Prince Edward Island, 7 degrees today with periods of rain. 7 on Friday with scattered showers, and then sunshine returns across the island on Saturday with a high of 8. Time now is 6:27. We'll be right back.
Coming up this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. Today, we're going back to school, but this time we're teaching the class, so we'll explain in about 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, happy Thursday. It is May 28th, but you wouldn't really know it by stepping outside. No. You know it by looking at the calendar. Hard to believe, though, we'll be flipping the calendar to June on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I love flipping the calendar.
Me too. It's really exciting. I have the Christmas Daddies calendar, the one that has all the Weather Watcher drawings.
I have that too.
It is a great calendar, inexpensive, supports the Christmas Daddies telethon, which supports maritime children. And written on the calendar for this weekend is the IWK telethon for children.
Yes. 42nd, right?
42nd, yeah, 42
Incredible.
years. So it's going to be a great time this weekend. We certainly hope you join us for the tribute show Saturday night and for the full telethon all Sunday.
It's going to be a great weekend, but right now we're still Thursday. I find this week is a long week, which is not a bad thing because life is short enough. But today is the day when I wish I had a wood stove and I was snuggled up by it reading all day. That would be
absolutely perfect.
Tea.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes, maybe some soup.
Yeah. Yesterday was freezing.
Let's make some homemade bread as well. Cold. These are all things that we will not be doing today, but I wish it would work.
Why not? I definitely am upset that it is quite cold still across the region. Gloomy, wet day ahead, so keep that in mind when you are heading out. We are still seeing showers and periods of rain tracking across much of the region. Here's a live look at Truro. Not seeing much of wet weather as of right now, but it is cold to start, so keep that in mind when you are heading out. Layer up. Make sure to have your rain gear because we are expecting wet weather to continue throughout the day today. 6 degrees in Halifax and in Charlottetown with 8 in Fredericton, -1 in Cartwright, and 1 degree in St. Anthony. We do have a wind warning now in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island until this afternoon, as we expect wind gusts to pick up there. And over to our satellite and radar, we are going to see Mixed precipitation for parts of the region, specifically looking at showers for the maritime region becoming steady into the afternoon. And then for Newfoundland, Labrador, looking at a chance of showers and or a chance of flurries. Here's a look at the current wind forecast. It's going to be another breezy day ahead for much of the maritime region. As of right now, 59 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang with 30 in North Cape, 24 in Canso, 20 in Charlottetown. Wind gusts getting up to 81 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang and 35 in Canso. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Today marks 3 years since the start of the devastating wildfires in Upper Tantallon. Despite the mass destruction to homes, a major challenge still exists. In fact, a citizens group is demanding an end to development on one road until an emergency exit is built. Long lines and traffic jams formed when residents were told to leave during the last fires. Residents say an egress is desperately needed.
We need a connection from the 103 to the 101 yesterday.
That's how important it is. As soon as possible. We can't kick this can down the road another 3 years. Something has to be done. Something has to be done right away.
A staff report on egresses is set to come to council in July. John Young says he hopes to have locals' perspectives heard. Talks between the Nova Scotia government and striking long-term care workers did not last long. CUPE, the union representing 3,500 workers on the picket line, says talks with the conciliator broke down fairly quickly Wednesday. The union says its amended offer lowered the previous proposal by millions of dollars, but the government turned it down. Pay and working conditions are the main issues. No further talks are scheduled. Nova Scotia RCMP have charged a man with murder in relation to a suspicious death more than a year ago. Last January, a deceased 42-year-old woman and an unconscious man were found in a home in Bible Hill. The man was taken to hospital and later released. On Tuesday, Lee Andrew McDonald was charged with second-degree murder. He appeared in court Wednesday and remains in custody. Newfoundland and Labrador is the latest province to declare gender-based violence an epidemic. The provincial government announced the move yesterday, following in the footsteps of other jurisdictions, including Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Newfoundland and Labrador's Minister of Women and Gender Equality says the declaration acknowledges the urgency of the problem and the need for collective action to prevent it. The province is also establishing a 12-person committee whose members represent government, survivors, and Indigenous women. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston has shuffled his cabinet. Houston has resigned as energy minister, handing the portfolio over to his ministerial assistant, Marco McLeod, the MLA for Pictou West.
The energy is an incredibly important file for our province, so I thought it was really important that it had the focus and the attention. We needed to get the attention of the world, really, on the energy potential of Nova Scotia, and I thought from the Premier's chair as Premier and Minister, we could do that.
We got to pursue the opportunities that we have. It's not okay to sit in an office all day. You actually got to get out there and meet with proponents and meet with all the possibilities, whether it's for offshore wind or offshore oil and gas. You got to go chase them down.
Elsewhere, Tory Rushton returns as Natural Resources Minister. Same goes for Brian Wong, who takes over the Advanced Education portfolio again. And Susan Corkum-Greek is in as Minister of Opportunities and Social Development. People in one Moncton neighborhood say they're growing tired of seeing a giant pile of trash that's been festering on a curb for over a month.
Every day we come home from work, it seems to be a little bit bigger, so we would hope the city would do something about it, but they haven't done anything about it yet.
I think it's embarrassing, and I think it's disgusting that the city would allow that to pile up and stay there as long as it's been.
The pile consists of bedposts, chairs, vacuums, and more, all tossed to the side. The pile's so big on Whitney Avenue, it's now spilling over the sidewalk. A spokesperson for the city confirms that bylaw enforcement has received a complaint about the trash pile, and they're investigating. Moncton does offer a bulk waste collection program for residents who apply in advance for the service. As for the home, it appears to be vacant. Finally, a welcome change. An unscheduled price adjustment overnight means you'll be paying less to fill up at pumps in Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick. In PEI, gas fell for a second time this week, this time by 4.6 cents. The minimum price now $1.91.4 a liter. And diesel on the island slipped by 2.3 cents. The minimum price now $2.25.9. And in New Brunswick, gas dropped by 9.1 cents. The maximum price now $1.86 a liter. And diesel, it decreased by 7.3 cents. The maximum price now $2.26.1 a liter. Prices in Nova Scotia did not change overnight. And I will also have the latest prices tomorrow morning. It's typically Thursday night into Friday morning that we see the prices change. But quite a big drop for both gas and diesel for both PEI and New Brunswick. And
still so high.
It's still
so
high,
but at least it's going down.
Yeah,
Thank
gas roulette
heaven.
these days is not fun for me.
Gas roulette.
So spooky. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Oh gosh. Well, we do have a contest. 2 more days left. This could help you
2 more days.
pay those bills. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. That's a nice sound. Head to the contest page at ctvatlantic.ca to enter, or scan the QR code you'll see in just a moment along with today's code word. It is Thrive. Oh yeah, we'd love to be thriving with $20,000. You could be. So enter to win today. We've got tomorrow, and then the contest wraps up. Next week we'll be announcing the winner.
Ooh, exciting.
Could be you. You got to enter. Still ahead, we will head to Hollywood for your entertainment headlines on this Thursday morning. But first, we have Latavia's latest forecast and the Move Morning Chat. Today, we want to know if you had to be a substitute teacher, what subject are you teaching? What do the kids need to know from you? That conversation on the other side of this break.
Good morning and happy Thursday. The time now is 6:42. We're taking a live look at a wet start to the day over in Charlottetown. 6 degrees early this morning. We are expecting periods of rain across the island today, so something to keep in mind when you are heading out early this morning, as roads will be wet. Starting off quite cool across the region today. 6 degrees as well in Halifax, 5 starting off your day in Sydney with 8 in Fredericton, 1 degree in Happy Valley Goose Bay, 3 degrees currently in Corner Brook. We do have a wind warning that is now in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island. This is until this afternoon. Wind gusts could be getting up to 90 kilometers per hour. Over to our forecast timeline. We are seeing a chance of some flurry activity for parts of Newfoundland. Other than that, though, we do have a bit of shower activity for parts of Labrador and into the Maritime region. A chance of showers starts off the day. Periods of rain for Prince Edward Island and parts of Cape Breton. And then into the afternoon becomes steadier shower activity for all 3 maritime provinces. Into tonight, temperatures cool down yet again, bringing us some more wet weather into our forecast on Friday, as we do have some isolated showers expected to return. And we're also expecting a bit of a wintry mix to return to Cape Breton Island. If you're wondering about rainfall totals, we are going to see accumulation from the system. We're looking at around 5 to 10 millimeters for parts of New Brunswick, 10 to 20 for Charlottetown, and then parts of eastern Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island. Heaviest for Cape Breton is into Sydney at 30 to 40 millimeters. We're only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for Port aux Basques. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, we are going to see daytime highs range from 7 to 13 degrees. Scattered showers across the province today with light wind. And then for Prince Edward Island, looking at highs between 7 to 8 degrees. Periods of rain throughout your day. Wind will also pick up out of the east, 20 gusting to 40. For Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia, daytime highs will range from 6 to 9 degrees. Periods of rain as well expected. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, daytime highs between 9 to 15 degrees. Showers throughout your day today, wind gusts of 40. For Labrador City, 12 degrees today with mainly cloudy skies. And 5 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, starting off the day with a chance of flurries. That will clear out, leaving mainly cloudy skies, and we will be seeing periods of drizzle into the evening. For Friday's forecast, another wet day ahead for much of Atlantic Canada, seeing a bit of sunshine for parts of Labrador. For Cape Breton Island, looking at showers and or flurries for parts of that part of the province. And then into our forecast for Saturday, we are going to see that wet weather clear out and a bit more sunshine will remain in the forecast. That's a look at your weather. Going to throw things over to the Move Morning Chat. We're back with another Move Morning Chat. This morning, we want to know, what subject in school did you love? Did you love it so much that you could be a substitute teacher? So the actual question is, if you had to be a substitute teacher for a day, what subject would you be teaching? Aaron, Peter, which one are you choosing? Peter.
We have bets, by the way. We have bets.
Oh, I bet.
I feel like Amanda and I are going to have a similar answer, okay? So if I'm teaching, I'm going to be teaching the English class, and we're going to be all over the board, okay? We're going to do some poetry, maybe, okay, even though I'm not very good at that one. But if we could also throw in some film and some theater, and maybe we could do some advertising and try to dissect it all, and that would be my kind of thing. I can teach, I will do that, sure, but I can only teach the English class.
Okay, and Peter and I have been, talking about this on the air, and I mentioned the class that I would teach, and he quite literally does not believe that I had this as a class.
Not a real thing.
But I'm teaching cosmetology, and I got to take cosmetology in high school, and it would be a full afternoon. Like, I'm talking like 2-3 periods where it was an option. I'd go to cosmetology, and we would learn how to do manicures and pedicures and how to dye your hair and do finger waves. I loved it. I basically just got to be there all day with my girlies, and we would just wash each other's hair. It was amazing.
Wait. I want to change my answer. I want to do cosmetology.
Yeah, for real.
So
sign me up.
That's for me, yeah.
Like, Aaron, was this in Calgary?
Yes, I went to school in Calgary. It was a pretty big high school, but you could take cosmetology. They had a mechanics shop where people could learn how to fix cars. Like, it was really cool.
Wow. They did not teach that at Sackville High, I'll tell you that much.
No, not at my school either, I wish.
No. So what would you be teaching, Latavia?
I'd be teaching drama. Oh. Because I am quite dramatic. No, I'm just joking.
She is.
Wouldn't I be the lazy teacher, though, that just rolls in the TV for the day? I'm like, we're watching a movie instead.
Oh, yeah.
But drama, at least you get to have fun. You get to play around. That's something I would definitely be up for.
That would be really cool. I would like to do, as Peter predicted, drama or English, but specifically maybe something in terms of public speaking. I remember students being so nervous about doing class presentations, and I'm sure you two feel this way as well. Anytime there was an opportunity to speak in front of the class, I was like, I got this. I'm so excited. Let me add some flair.
Right.
I would like to do something like that, but if I had to also be hyper specific as well, I would like to educate the newer generation on the wonderful musicals out there.
Right?
Educate them that way. I'm talking Les Mis, Phantom of the Opera, Chicago. So maybe rolling in the TV as well, but playing the soundtracks, talking about some icons. Teach them who Barbra Streisand is.
Yeah? How could you not know who that is?
My sister's a teacher. She's probably dying hearing all of this. All right, we're throwing this question to our viewers this morning, that if you were a substitute teacher for a day, what subject are you teaching and why? We want to know, what will you teach the younger generation? You can send us a text at 10400, and we'll share your answers a little later.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:52. We're going to head over to Hollywood and take a look at your entertainment headlines.
What did you steal?
Secrets.
The final Disclosure Day trailer has arrived. The new extraterrestrial thriller from Steven Spielberg stars Josh O'Connor, Emily Blunt, and Colin Firth. It lands in theaters June 12th. The CMA Fest concert special now has its hosts and an air date. Country superstar Riley Green and Good Morning America's Lara Spencer will host the 3-hour special, which will air on ABC June 25th and stream on Hulu the next day. Disney is the parent company of ABC, Hulu, and ABC News. Ted Danson and Elizabeth Banks are teaming up to play father and daughter in a new comedy series for Apple TV. The untitled series is set to begin production later this year. And happy birthday to Academy Award nominee Carey Mulligan. She turns 41 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
And a little strength training can go a long way. Just ask a 101-year-old Barbara who faithfully attends fitness classes twice a week.
CTV's Lauren Stone visits one of her chair classes with weights.
Barbara Clark is 101 years old.
I've always been active. That's the secret.
When she's not gardening or playing the piano, Clark is here, exercising.
I think everybody should take exercises. I started a long time ago.
Clark says she played golf to keep fit in her earlier years. Her last game nearly a decade ago when she was 92.
It wasn't a very stellar game, believe me.
Now she's traded in her golf clubs for dumbbells and trains with other dedicated seniors twice a week at Chartwell Dorchester Terrace.
It gives them the ability to be more independent and to move and to have less assistance. They really notice a big difference here. They've all increased their weights.
The classes include a warm-up, strength training, balance exercises, and stretching.
It involves everything. I don't miss a muscle group.
Experts say strength training can improve balance, independence, and brain health for older patients.
Weightlifting can improve cognition, including executive function, which refers to our ability to think, plan, make decisions, our memory, and our attention. And this is true in healthy, preclinical and clinical older adult populations. And so sort of keeping sharp as we age is really important.
And for anyone who says they are too busy to exercise.
What do I say to them? Oh, I wouldn't like to tell you.
So Clark left me no option but to join in. And it turns out, keeping up with a 101-year-old is harder than it looks.
It keeps me young.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
She's also got a great jersey there. Happening now, talks between the Nova Scotia government and striking long-term care workers did not last long. CUPE, the union, says its amended offer lowered the previous proposal by millions of dollars, but the government turned it down. We'll have details just ahead. Plus, Newfoundland and Labrador is the latest province to declare gender-based violence an epidemic. The provincial government made the move yesterday, following the footsteps of other jurisdictions like Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Plus, an unscheduled price adjustment overnight means you'll be paying less to fill up at pumps in PEI and New Brunswick. Both prices for diesel and gas went down overnight. We'll have those numbers just ahead. But first, it is a look at the three-day forecast with Latavia.
Thanks, Amanda. Starting off in New Brunswick, below seasonal today with a high of 11. We do have scattered showers across the province. On Friday, a bit of wet weather continues, 13 degrees with isolated showers. Remains below seasonal on Saturday, but that wet weather clears, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. For Nova Scotia, 9 degrees today. We do have showers, periods of rain across the province. On Friday, still remains below seasonal at 10 degrees, mainly cloudy skies with a chance of isolated showers. And then on Saturday, 12 degrees, so still remaining below seasonal, but we do have sunshine returning, a chance of showers into the evening. For Prince Edward Island, 7 degrees today, periods of rain across the island. Wet weather continues to end off the work week with a high of 7 and scattered showers across the island. And then on Saturday, looking at sunshine returning, still remaining quite cool, though, with a high of 8 degrees. Time now is 6:56. Your Morning Atlantic will be right back after this.
It's Thursday, May 28th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, Newfoundland and Labrador declares gender-based violence an epidemic. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And making waves for Ocean Week Halifax. We'll dive into our connection to our North Atlantic and how it's being honored, plus ways we can protect it for future generations. That is on this Thursday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning and welcome back. The time now is 7 o'clock on your Thursday, May 28th, nearing the end of the month, and it's going to be a cold one.
Very cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep the mittens handy. I thought we could put them away.
Oh, yeah.
No, I did break out a new pair. Weather was
a new
worn
pair?
Out. Well, yeah, I lost one. I think
Oh,
it's in the.
no.
I think it's when I went to Cape Breton last week. I think I left it at the house.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I'll get it back. But
Yeah.
I had to bust out the new mittens. Oh, new things. Don't you love opening and putting on something new? I
have a
so
bad
nice.
habit of keeping tags on clothes that I buy. So when I go to wear it, I just rip it off like it's fresh from the store.
That's not a bad habit. That's a fun habit.
I encourage it because I do it too.
Right?
Well, I would.
It's so new.
I keep mittens, gloves, something handy if you head out, because I think that, like with the wet, it's colder than you think.
Absolutely, especially if you're spending long amounts of time outside. It's going to be breezy across the region as well, as we have this system tracking across, bringing wet weather our way. So something to keep in mind when you are heading out today. For the most part, a cloudy, gloomy day ahead. As of right now, you can see that breeze picking up. We are going to see wind gusts between 40 to 50 for much of the region. We do have a wind warning also in effect. So starting off with our current temperatures, it is cold right across Atlantic Canada today. 8 degrees in Fredericton with 6 in Charlottetown and in Halifax, 5 degrees in Sydney, even cooler in St. John's, Newfoundland at 1 degree. Here's a look at that wind warning for parts of Cape Breton Island. Until this afternoon, we will be seeing wind gusts picking up and nearing 90 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. We are going to see some active weather in the forecast for both Newfoundland and Labrador as well. A chance of showers and or flurries for parts of those provinces. And then into the Maritime region, looking at a chance of showers, periods of rain. Shower activity becomes steady into the afternoon. And then for the current wind forecast, as of right now, sustained wind 59 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang with 30 into North Cape, 24 in Canso with 20 in Charlottetown. Wind gusts getting up to 81 right now in Grand Etang, 35 kilometers per hour in Canso, 28 in Sydney and St. John, New Brunswick. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Talks between the Nova Scotia government and striking long-term care workers did not last long. CUPE, the union representing 3,500 workers on the picket line, says talks with the conciliator broke down fairly quickly Wednesday. Union says its amended offer lowered the previous proposal by millions of dollars, but the government turned it down. Pay and working conditions are the main issues. No further talks are scheduled. Today marks 3 years since the start of the devastating wildfires in Upper Tantallon. And despite the mass destruction to homes, a major challenge still exists. In fact, a citizens group is demanding an end to development on one road until an emergency exit is built. Long lines and traffic jams formed when residents were told to leave during the last fires. Residents say an egress is desperately needed.
We need a connection from the 103 to the 101 yesterday.
That's how important it is. As soon as possible. We can't kick this can down the road another 3 years. Something has to be done. Something has to be done right away.
A staff report on egresses is set to come to council in July. John Young says he hopes to have locals' perspectives heard. Newfoundland and Labrador is the latest province to declare gender-based violence an epidemic. The provincial government announced the move yesterday, following in the footsteps of other jurisdictions, including Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Newfoundland and Labrador's Minister of Women and Gender Equality says the declaration acknowledges the urgency of the problem and the need for collective action to prevent it. The province is also establishing a 12-person committee whose members represent government, survivors, and Indigenous women. An unscheduled price adjustment overnight means you'll be paying less to fill up at pumps in both Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick. Starting with PEI, gas fell for a second time this week, this time by 4.6 cents. The minimum price now $1.91.4 a litre. And diesel on the island slipped by 2.3 cents. The minimum price now $2.25.9. And in New Brunswick, gas dropped by 9.1 cents. The maximum price $1.86 a litre. And diesel decreased by 7.3 cents. The maximum price $2.26.1. Prices in Nova Scotia did not change. Halifax hit a tourism milestone last year, selling more than 2 million hotel rooms for the first time. However, with another busy summer expected, rooms are expensive and hard to find. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness has more.
Discover Halifax just released its 2025 annual report, and for the first time, hotel and short-term rental room nights surpassed the 2 million mark. That's a 2% gain year over year.
We've been seeing steady growth here in the Halifax Regional Municipality for a number of years.
According to the report, business events generated about $76.5 million. Festivals and events more than doubled their economic impact, reaching $49.3 million. But where is everyone staying? Ross Jefferson says there are about 1,000 Airbnb units in the city and another 7,000 hotel rooms. And there's more on the way.
We know there's a new one that's going to be opening soon out towards the airport. We've seen 5 hotels built in the last 5 years here in the downtown core. We know that there's some more that are in various stages of proposals and development as well.
So how are things looking for tonight?
Hotel manager Glenn Bowie is seeing the growth firsthand. 2025 was their biggest year ever for conferences, and it looks like they could surpass that again this year. Says they already have bookings well into the 2030s.
That builds a wonderful base for us so that we can deal with tourists, business travelers, etc. after that.
People are looking for a wellness type thing, or they're looking for a family relaxed type of experience.
Jonathan McGinnis, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Yeah, we're going to be in peak tourism season before we know it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay. I do love tourism season.
Me too.
I also love money. You know, it's fun to do things with it. And if you win $20,000, the possibilities are increasing dramatically for you. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning. We can pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Yes, indeedly do. Today and tomorrow, your last chances to win. So how do you do so? Head to the contest page at ctvatlantic.ca or scan the QR code you'll see in just a moment, along with today's code word, which is Thrive. So there you go. Enter now. You can enter today, and then you can enter tomorrow. Then the contest closes up. The vault doors slam shut.
Those are some squeaky vault doors.
We need to oil the vault.
We have a big vault here.
Indeed. Just where we keep the $20,000.
Okay, we're going to take a break here. We're going to check in on our vault, and we'll also have your latest national news headlines, and it's also a look at the Thursday forecast with Latavia. Good morning to our viewers in St. John's, Newfoundland. Very RDF looking kind of day. The forecast is coming up right after this.
Welcome back and a happy Thursday. The time now is 7:11. We're taking a live look at Somerville. Gloomy, foggy, cloudy, and wet start to your day as we are going to see showers expected to stick around into the afternoon. It is cold this morning right across the region. As of right now, 6 degrees in Halifax, 5 starting off your day in Sydney, 6 in Charlottetown with 8 degrees in Fredericton, 4 degrees in Labrador City, and 1 into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island until this afternoon, seeing lace wet wind gusts getting up to 90 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. Newfoundland and Labrador not seeing as much of that wet weather as we are in the Maritime region, but still dealing with a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of those provinces. Into the Maritime region, starting off with a chance of showers, periods of rain across Prince Edward Island, Cape Breton, and parts of eastern Nova Scotia. And that chance of showers will become quite steady into the afternoon, and that wet weather sticking around into the evening. Temperatures cooling back down yet again, so it's going to be cold into the overnight hours. Taking us into early Friday morning, we do have a wet day ahead yet again. Temperatures remain below seasonal for our daytime highs, and a bit of a wintry mix returning to Cape Breton Island with showers and or flurries. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, we are looking at around 5 to 10 millimeters for Moncton, 10 to 20 for Prince Edward Island and parts of eastern Nova Scotia. Cape Breton Island, heaviest for Cape Breton is 30 to 40 millimeters for Sydney. And then Newfoundland and Labrador, quite light amounts indicated, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for Port aux Basques. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs will range from 7 to 13 degrees. Scattered showers expected today and light wind out of the north, only 20 kilometers per hour. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between 7 to 8, periods of rain throughout your day, wind gusts getting up to 40. And then for Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia, also seeing rain throughout your day with highs between 6 to 8 degrees, wind gusts of 40. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at shower activity on and off throughout your day. Daytime highs will range from 9 to 16 and wind out of the northeast, 20 gusting to 40. Labrador City looking at mainly cloudy skies today with a high of 11. 5 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a chance of flurries clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies. Evening drizzle is expected. Our forecast for Friday, another wet day ahead for much of Atlantic Canada. Seeing some sunny breaks for parts of Labrador, but we do have a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of Cape Breton Island. And that takes us into Friday night. Much of the same. Temperatures really cold into the overnight hours on Friday. And into the weekend, we start to see precipitation clear out, leaving a bit more sunshine, holding on to a bit of shower activity for parts of the region. So that's a look at your weather forecast. Now we're going to throw things over to meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell.
This is your Campfire Conditions Report brought to you by Pine Acres RV, where customers become friends. And with cloudier, cooler, and some damp weather present in the Maritimes, no surprise that we don't find much in the way of restrictions. New Brunswick currently open to campfires. For the province of Nova Scotia, campfires are permitted between the hours of 2 p.m. and 8 a.m. And in the province of Prince Edward Island, campfires are currently permitted, with domestic brush burning permitted between the hours of 2 p.m. and 8 a.m. Remember, as well as checking in on these provincial restrictions, to check in on any municipal restrictions or bylaws as well.
Thank you, Kaylin. To international news now. U.S. President Donald Trump has been in negotiations to end the war with Iran for over a month, but fresh strikes are fueling concerns the war could be ramping back up. ABC's Olivia Rubin has the latest.
Overnight, the U.S. carrying out new strikes in southern Iran amid a delicate ceasefire. The U.S. shooting down 4 attack drones that posed a threat around the Strait of Hormuz, according to a U.S. official who called the strikes, quote, measured, purely defensive, and intended to maintain the ceasefire. Hours later, the military of nearby Kuwait said it was responding to missile and drone attacks. It marks the second time in 3 days the U.S. has carried out defensive strikes in Iran, as President Trump tries to negotiate a deal to end the war he started months ago.
Right now, I think it looks like they want to just make a deal.
Oman is helping negotiate the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian state media reporting the two countries are collaborating a new procedure for ships to pass through the critical waterway. But President Trump rejecting the idea of anyone controlling the strait.
The strait's going to be open to everybody. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that.
The war sending oil and gas prices surging, with affordability a key issue in an election year. But Trump telling ABC's Rachel Scott that's not his primary urgency.
Does that give you more urgency to make a deal?
The primary urgency is that we can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. But at the same time, we have a tremendous amount of oil, gas, coal.
And gas prices are now up to about $4.42. That's up $1.48 since the war began, hitting a 4-year high over Memorial Day weekend. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
Back here in Canada, BC's top doctor wants to price booze according to alcohol content. The stronger the drink, the higher the price. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more on the report that led to the idea.
Victoria's Fizz non-alcoholic bottle shop is a business built around making the move away from booze.
There is more and more and more demand for alternatives to alcohol.
That shift, driven by young people, is mentioned in a new report from BC's top doctor. But Bonnie Henry says British Columbians are still drinking too much and more than the Canadian average.
Drinking less alcohol is better for our overall health, and that's the central message of this report.
The report makes several recommendations, including a new awareness campaign to make sure more people know alcohol causes cancer and warning labels similar to cigarettes. The report found the price of booze, adjusted for inflation, has gone down in BC over the past 2 decades, and that when the price goes up, people drink less.
The current model in BC bases minimum prices by volume, so a can of beer that's 7% alcohol isn't required to be any more expensive than a 4% beer. Stronger booze is a better value, but maybe not for long.
The report proposes changing the model to make stronger drinks more expensive, and a recommendation the province come up with its new strategy without what it calls industry influence, which got the attention of Wine Growers BC.
We think we have some really valuable perspective to share, and I think the best policies are born from collaboration. So to say industry shouldn't be at the table is just the wrong approach.
It's now up to the province to act on the recommendations.
Pour that in there.
As Canadians make their own choice whether to add booze to their next cocktail. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Another break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll get details on Ocean Week Halifax and all that's in store over 10 days. That's on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. It's 7:22. Now, Oceans Week Halifax begins this Saturday, May 30th. The 10-day celebration highlights our connection to the North Atlantic by bringing together communities, organizations, researchers, artists, and more. There's something for everybody during Oceans Week, from education programming to waterfront experiences. No one knows that better than our next guest, the co-chair of Oceans Week Halifax, Lucia Prilovic. Good morning and welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you have been very busy, more than 40 events this year. All right, we'll get into that in a second. First off, why is Ocean Week so important?
So Oceans Week, we're part of Oceans Week Canada, which is our bigger national organization, and we are all about just celebrating our ocean. It's so important to Canada, coast to coast to coast, especially here in Atlantic Canada and Nova Scotia. We really want to be connected to their ocean, and we just want just a week to celebrate how we connect with our oceans, make sure maybe reconnect with the ocean depending who you are. But yeah, we just want to really focus on why the ocean is important to us, how we are able to visit the ocean, interact with the ocean, and help protect our ocean as well.
So Oceans Week is an expanded celebration around the original Oceans Day, but that started in Halifax. Tell us more about the history of this event.
Yeah, so World Oceans Day kind of came up with was an idea back in Halifax back in 1992. It started over at the Maritime Museum, and it officially became World Oceans Day, recognized by the UN in 2008. So we were kind of the homegrown origin story for World Oceans Day, which is now a national day. And now we have Oceans Week Canada across Canada.
Yeah, it is a national campaign, and Halifax is one of the hub locations for this important celebration. Tell us some of the 40 things. We won't be able to go into detail on every single one, but some highlights from what you have planned.
Yeah, definitely. So on Saturday, we're kicking things off over at Africville. We're going to be having an ocean cleanup. We're going to be collecting some critters. We'll have a giant ocean map. Throughout the week, there'll be events kind of in the evenings, a lot at the Beatty Center of Marine Biodiversity happening. We have Nerd Night. And then we have our big celebration next Sunday, so Sunday, June 6th, on the waterfront on Foundation Wharf, where we'll have lots of amazing organizations. We'll have our map, we'll have live music, face painting, so lots to bring the community, and it's free, so anyone is welcome to stop by.
Well, if you can see from some of the images of events in the past, there's a real variety of activities catering to all different ages, which is, I know it's a lot of work to organize these public events, but what are you personally most excited about?
I'm honestly excited about this year. We had our first kind of community planning workshop, where we brought in a bunch of community members, and it's just exciting to see kind of new events come from that and be able to have those happen this year. So I'm excited to see new collaborations, new community members working together, and we wouldn't be able to do any of this without all the amazing organizations helping. So from those 40 events, we, as our little small board, is planning maybe 2 or 3, but the rest is all of our amazing community members.
Well, we're showing images of our beautiful Atlantic. It's never boring any day. No. The ocean's fantastic. We only have about 30 seconds left, but what do you want us to know about the ocean before we go today?
I think people, especially here in Nova Scotia, we see the ocean, we're never far from it, but I think we forget the impact it could have on us, that everything from weather, temperature, especially in Halifax, we're in a little microclimate, thanks to the ocean, our little bubble. So just want people to realize that everything they do will impact the ocean. If they're going out for a walk, if they're picking up a piece of trash, that trash could end up in the ocean. So just every little piece helps.
That is a great point. Even if you're not near the ocean, pollution can get into the ocean. Wonderful. Well, Lucia, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
And we have put more information about Oceans Week Halifax on our website, so you can check that out. Lots of events for you. In the meantime, we'll check in with the weather with Latavia.
Thanks, Crystal. Starting off in New Brunswick, below seasonal daytime high today of 11 with scattered showers. 13 degrees on Friday. We do have a low chance of showers continuing and clearing out on Saturday, warming just a bit, still remaining below seasonal though to 14. For Nova Scotia, 9 degrees today with showers across the province. 10 degrees on Friday, mainly cloudy with a low chance of showers. and showers clear, leaving sunshine on Saturday, a high of 12, evening showers for parts of the province. Prince Edward Island looking at 7 degrees today with periods of rain. It transitions over to a chance of showers on Friday. On Saturday, 8 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud.
Coming up in this half hour, avoiding debt this summer. Vacations and other fun in the sun, it can start to add up. We'll get tips on balancing your budget while still enjoying the season to the fullest. That's just ahead here on the Thursday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Hello, halfway through the show on this Thursday, May 28th. Challenge accepted. Staying on budget this summer. It's one thing that's way easier about the summer eventually, not today, but in general, like you don't have to spend any money on heat.
Oh, yeah, that's
true. I know there's electricity for some people have air conditioning and such, but the oil, that in my case, we have a very old house.
Oh, good point.
And she's a lovely girl, but she's an old girl. And we're still on the oil heat. We're working on getting off that. But that oil tank, sheesh.
Oh, the prices.
The prices?
Yeah.
Woo!
So I'm looking forward to the saving on the oil bill. But how else are you going to save money this summer? Let's do a little round table.
Oh, man. For us, our trips are just we're not doing any big trips.
Not this summer.
No, not at all this summer. Just traveling between here and visiting family in both New Brunswick and Ontario. That's about it for us, including driving.
I'm going to purchase off-brand ice cream sandwiches instead of the name brand.
Man, they're just not the same. I do that too now, and I'm like,
no, they're the same. They're just as good. The ice cream sandwiches are just as good. No, I will not be. I will be splurging on ice cream at every chance. I will be going to the ice cream place, asking for 2 scoops.
Good for you.
Oh, yeah, because summer doesn't last forever. How are you going to save money?
Man, I haven't been back home in forever. What feels like forever. I can't even afford to go back home. That's how expensive it's gotten now.
Everything.
Imagine, like, I have family there. Why is it so expensive?
Yeah.
I was born there. Yeah, that's how things go. Anyways, we're going to switch gears, talk about the weather now.
Yes.
Not about my poor finances.
I was trying to distract us for the weather because it's kind of, oh, look, okay, this is also distracting. Look at, okay, talk about your feathers being ruffled.
Right?
Yeah, you're going to ruffle a few feathers with this forecast today, Latavia.
You can hear in the wind.
Oh, no, it's nasty. Suji's like, girl, this is just too much wind up my skirt.
She's like, hold on tight.
Keep the baby in the nest.
Exactly.
Well, as you can see from our live eye over in Port Morion, we are going to see a cloudy day ahead, a wet day for much of the region with breezy winds. So keep that in mind when you are heading out. Layer up and bring that rain gear with you. Cool to start, 6 degrees in Halifax, 5 in Sydney, 6 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown with 8 in Fredericton, 1 degree in St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at the wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island until this afternoon. Could see wind gusts getting up to 90 kilometers per hour. Over to our satellite and radar. For the most part, we do have active weather across the region. For the Maritime region, a chance of showers, periods of rain becoming steady shower activity into the afternoon. Newfoundland and Labrador are seeing a bit of precipitation and or a chance of flurries. In terms of the wind forecast, it's going to be another breezy day ahead, 56 kilometers per hour right now in Grand Detang, 31 in North Cape, 24 in Canso, 15 in Sydney and Charlottetown. Wind gusts getting up to 81 kilometers per hour right now in Grand Detang and 30 in Sydney. We'll take another look at your long-range forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Talks between the Nova Scotia government and striking long-term care workers did not last long. CUPE, the union representing 3,500 workers on the picket line, says talks with the conciliator broke down fairly quickly on Wednesday. The union says its amended offer lowered the previous proposal by millions of dollars, but the government turned it down. Pay and working conditions are the main issues. No further talks are scheduled. The body of a Nova Scotia ice fisherman missing since March has now been recovered. Last week, officers retrieved a body from the shore of the Annapolis River near Belle Isle. The remains were identified as the second of 2 men who did not return from ice fishing in the area. The other man's body was found March 11th. Newfoundland and Labrador is the latest province to declare gender-based violence an epidemic. The provincial government announced the move yesterday, following in the footsteps of other jurisdictions, including Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Newfoundland and Labrador's Minister of Women and Gender Equality says the declaration acknowledges the urgency of the problem and the need for collective action to prevent it. The province is also establishing a 12-person committee whose members represent government, survivors, and Indigenous women. There are new rules coming into effect for bouncers and bar security staff in Nova Scotia. The province says the changes are part of broader amendments to the Liquor Control Act and are designed to strengthen public safety in response to, quote, incidents involving bar security employees and patrons. Halifax bouncer Alexander Levy was recently convicted of manslaughter in the 2022 death of Ryan Sawyer outside the Halifax Ale House. Levy put Sawyer in a chokehold during an altercation outside the establishment, and he died. Levy is appealing that conviction, but the Minister of Service Nova Scotia, Jill Balzer, has said the review was influenced by the case. So starting June 1st, all security staff at Nova Scotia bars will be required to get criminal record checks and complete mandatory safety and responsible alcohol serving training. The Restaurant Association of Nova Scotia says it welcomes the changes. An unscheduled price adjustment overnight means you'll be paying less to fill up at pumps in Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick. Starting with PEI, gas fell for a second time this week, this time by 4.6 cents. The minimum price now $1.91.4 a litre. And diesel on the island slipped by 2.3 cents. The minimum price now $2.25.9. And in New Brunswick, gas dropped by 9.1 cents. The maximum price now $1.86 a litre. And diesel decreased by 7.3 cents. The maximum price now $2.26.1. Prices in Nova Scotia did not change. Accommodations, airfare, gas and meals. We all know vacations are pricey. And these days, with so many Maritimers pinching pennies, traveling just isn't on the priority list. That being said, not everyone has given up on a summer getaway. Here's CTV's Ryan McDonald.
Oh, God, we've been to Egypt, we've been to Japan, we've been to China.
Calvin Stevens and his children usually take a big trip somewhere around the globe each summer.
We've been to the Galapagos Islands, for God's sakes.
But he says this year, because of costs and world dynamics, they're staying in Canada, exploring Vancouver by rent-a-car.
They were a little disappointed at first, but I did explain to them the situation and the cost of everything.
Well, I mean, across Canada, we're all feeling the pinch, right?
According to a new survey by TD, 41% of Atlantic Canadians plan to spend less this summer, the highest in Canada compared to 35% elsewhere across the country.
Gas has gone up significantly, jet fuel, so hopping on a plane is more expensive than it was 6 months ago. And even just the cost of buying food when you get there.
Among those cutting back, 64% are redirecting their spending towards essentials like groceries, gas, and housing. 53% say that higher fuel costs are impacting travel decisions.
I'll never stop traveling. I have 5 cruises booked in the next year, so.
Then there are those who will travel regardless. Ryan McDonald of Mabu, Nova Scotia, has a cruise booked for next week and another one to Greenland this summer.
And I only paid $250 for that cruise for 14 days.
During that time, he points out he's not buying any groceries. He says he manages to afford to travel by constantly looking out for deals.
Yeah, you can't put a price on your love of travel. If you love traveling, you should do it.
Ryan McDonald, CTV News.
Thank you, Ryan McDonald, who also interviewed Ryan.
We love that. Okay, very quickly, we're going to try to go to the nest, all right? Oh, there she is. There's Helene. Do you see her? She's got her feathers coming in, and I guess she's preening herself. She's been learning well from Mama.
Right? She's getting a lot more color now.
Oh, wow.
Look at her move.
Okay, I didn't notice. She's that whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. She's getting big.
Wow, she's more of a dark gray when we've been checking her earlier. Much tinier, softer, had that lighter gray color. Now you're seeing a variety on her.
And her big feet. Oh.
Well, she does have big feet, doesn't she?
Oh, this is so fascinating. I mean, this could cut away at any second, but I'm really enjoying seeing Helene. She's really thriving.
I know. I love how they're like snuggling in the wind.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
They grow so fast.
They really do.
True.
What do you think Bruce and Suji are teaching her?
Well, obviously to clean herself.
Yeah.
How to move the nest bits around.
How to move that. Well, it does bring us to the Move Morning Chat. You know, if you were to be a substitute teacher for a day, what would be the subject you would teach, and why would it be that? What are you an expert in that you say, I can teach the kids this these days? Maybe it's a class on cursive writing. Who knows, right? Maybe how to use one of those big, remember those huge calculators? I know they had a specific name.
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
back when
scientific
calculators, like just a regular calculator that you can get at the dollar store, used to be like $30.
Yeah, they huge,
Yeah.
the huge ones, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to move on to creatures, back to creatures. Some may say the top prize at the Cannes Film Festival is the Palme d'Or, but others would argue it's the Palme Dog.
Okay.
You may not have heard of this award, but it's the unofficial prize honoring notable canine performances in film. This year's prize went to Yuri for her role in the film La Pera. The film is about a woman living on a remote island who adopts a puppy. The Palme Dog has been handed out since 2001, and we'll have it on our show as long as humanly possible. What
Adorable.
a cutie.
Wow.
That's the Palme Dog.
Oh, that's the Palme.
They get a
I
collar.
don't think if the first one was the Palme Dog.
No, that was the Palme Dog.
Yeah, I was like, that
was Yuri.
first dog's not.
And it's remember yesterday,
based on its acting skills.
It's true. It's acting skills. But I love that the award is that collar that says Palme Dog, so everyone knows it's a Palme Dog.
Right.
Like, what are they going to do with the trophy?
Yeah, exactly. You're going to appreciate it. Really,
It's squeaky.
Dog. Yeah.
Squeaky trophy.
Oh, no. I wonder if Wishbone ever wanted me.
Oh, absolutely.
That's an icon.
Rest in peace.
Oh. The documentary is coming out on that too. So
I know.
I can't wait. All right, halfway point of our show, but please stick around. Latavia has a very cool forecast today. Then, avoiding debt while enjoying the summer months. Vacation season, it can come at a cost. We'll get tips on managing your money while still having fun in the sun. That's coming up next. Please stay with us.
Good morning and welcome back. The time now is 7:44, taking a live look at a foggy, cloudy start to the day over at the Confederation Bridge. Periods of rain expected throughout your day today, and currently 6 degrees, so it is quite cold across many areas across Atlantic Canada. Today, right now, we're looking at 6 degrees in Halifax with 5 in Sydney, 8 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton with 4 in Labrador City and 2 degrees over in Gander. We do have a wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island until this afternoon, expecting wind gusts to get up to 90 kilometers per hour. Over to our forecast timeline. A chance of showers for much of the Maritime region. We have periods of rain across Prince Edward Island, Cape Breton Island, and parts of eastern Nova Scotia. So that chance of showers is expected to become steady showers into later this morning and into the afternoon. Newfoundland, Labrador dealing with a bit of precipitation as well. A chance of showers and or a chance of flurries early in the morning for parts of Newfoundland. That will clear out, leaving mainly cloudy skies. We will be seeing periods of drizzle move in this evening, though, for parts of Newfoundland. For the Maritime region, temperatures cooling yet again into our overnight hours, taking us into Friday's forecast. Another chance of showers remains, so we are going to see another wet and cool day ahead to end off the work week. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, we are looking at around 2 to 10 millimeters across parts of New Brunswick. Heaviest for Prince Edward Island being 10 to 20 millimeters. 10 to 20 millimeters also expected for parts of Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia. Heaviest for Cape Breton, though, at around 30 to 40 millimeters for Sydney. Newfoundland, Labrador going to remain quite light, only seeing 2 to 5 millimeters for Port aux Basques. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick, looking at scattered showers across the province with highs ranging from 7 to 13 degrees. Light wind out of the north, only 20 kilometers per hour. For Prince Edward Island, periods of rain throughout your day today with highs between 7 to 8 degrees. Wind picking up out of the east, 20 gusting to 40. Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia, highs will range from 6 to 8. We are looking at rain throughout your day today as well. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, shower activity on and off throughout the day with highs between 9 to 16 degrees and wind gusts of 40. Mainly cloudy skies expected today for Labrador City with a high of 11. 5 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a chance of flurries early on, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies, and then periods of drizzle into the overnight hours. So Friday will be another wet forecast for much of Atlantic Canada. We are going to see a chance of showers remain. Temperatures remaining cool as well. We are going to see a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of Cape Breton Island early in the morning. That will continue into the afternoon and evening. Saturday's forecast, though, we will be seeing temperatures rise just a bit, remaining seasonal for parts of the region. And we are also going to see the return of sunshine, Crystal.
Yay, seasonal and sunshine. We've hit the jackpot. All right, we want to remind you to connect with us anytime. Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca is our email. Text us at 10400. You can share your thoughts. You can ask questions. You can send us photos and videos. We check every message ourselves. All right, now we'll turn our attention back over to Latavia.
Budgeting ahead of summer trip plans can save you the hassle from going into debt afterward. And if you do end up budgeting incorrectly and rack up some debt after travel, we have some tips and suggestions that may help you out. Mark Marshall, with our partners over at Allen Marshalls and Associates, returns to share ways to avoid going into debt before enjoying that relaxing getaway. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning.
So why is it that so many families do end up overspending on vacation?
I think that overall people just underestimate the total costs. They underestimate the budget for flights or hotels or for travel, for meals, for activities, some of the extras that come along with that, whether it be parking or ground transportation. So I think it's just, everything costs money these days, and so I think oftentimes people kind of forget the smaller things.
Absolutely, that can definitely happen. So how far in advance should people start planning and budgeting for their trip?
Well, I mean, starting a few months in advance always makes a difference. That's when it comes to your budget, like setting money aside, and if you can plan a year ahead, that's obviously better, because then you can kind of know what your plan. Know how much you can contribute towards that on a month-to-month basis or weekly basis, depending on when you're paid. And ultimately, the further in advance that you're booking, the easier it is for you to find deals, whether it's on flights or hotels.
So often when you go on vacation, sometimes you can get excited. There's so much merchandise and souvenirs that you want to buy. What's a realistic way that families can set a vacation budget ahead of time?
I think it's, the splurge aspect or the splurge mindset. I think it's just a matter of kind of setting a daily limit in terms of what you can afford, and then try to stay consistent and stay within that so that you're not, blowing the budget or coming home with some credit card debt after the vacation.
And speaking of credit cards, should people be using their credit cards to fund vacations?
Credit cards are a useful tool. I mean, you can use your credit cards to build up the miles and then use the miles to book the trip. But no, you should never, if you can't afford to pay cash for something, you don't want to go away on vacation and come home with credit card debt. So no, the answer to that would be no. You should definitely not use credit cards. You use them in emergencies if you needed to when you're on your trip, but you should not fund the bulk of what you're doing.
Absolutely. And if a family does kind of go over budget because of a family trip and need help digging themselves out, what do you recommend they do next?
Well, I mean, if you have some debt lingering around, I mean, you got to sit down and crunch your numbers and look at your budget and see what it is that you can afford to kind of work towards, getting yourself out of debt. If the vacation did set you back, you got to sit down, look at your fixed expenses, your fixed costs, and then, work on your budget to make sure that you're, covering your fixed expenses, your fixed costs, and then working away at setting up a realistic payment plan to look after the credit card that you had that's lingering around from the vacation. Otherwise, you'll just find yourself in a position where you're kind of giving money away on a month-to-month basis by making interest-only payments.
Yes, absolutely. You are totally right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. And that was Mark Marshall with our partners over at Allen Marshalls and Associates. Now we're going to throw things over to Amanda for health and medical news.
Thanks, Latavia. New research suggests more than half of U.S. teens are losing critical sleep because they're on their phones too late at night. It's one of the topics in your health. The American Academy of Pediatrics and the American Academy of Sleep Medicine recommend teenagers get 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. However, according to new research, more than half of U.S. teens spend at least an hour on their phone overnight on school nights. Researchers analyzed data from a study that shows how teen phone use patterns cut into sleep at night. The research doesn't directly link nighttime phone use to harmful outcomes for teens. However, previous research has shown sleep disruption does have negative impacts on cognitive function, emotional regulation, mental health, and more.
Experts say building healthier habits starts with parents modeling healthy screen behaviors. One of the recommendations is to create a family media plan. Some suggestions are to create screen-free zones in the home and times when you can't be on a device. Keeping phones and other devices out of bedrooms is also recommended. Set guidelines on how long devices can be used and place limits. Plus, plan activities that don't involve screens. Finally, electric scooters and bikes are becoming a common way to get around, especially in cities. But a recent study from the journal Neurosurgery suggests these devices are leading to a rise in serious brain and spine trauma, and almost 50% of those injured needed surgery. Only about a third of urban riders wore a helmet, and nearly 1 in 5 were operating under the influence of alcohol. So how can e-commuters stay safe? Experts say put the phone away, wear a helmet, and don't use electric scooters while intoxicated. Injuries also tend to happen more often in the evening hours, especially between 6 and 8 p.m.
And now we'd like to introduce you to the Maritimers who are marking milestones today. It's a 60th anniversary for Jack and Marianne Cullington of Fredericton.
Congratulations, you two. Happy anniversary. What a great photo.
Happy anniversary.
It is a 66th anniversary for Frank and Verda Jackson of Timberley, Nova Scotia. Look at that, framed in love. Happy anniversary.
Wishing you a happy anniversary as well. And it's a 104th birthday for Edith Rich of Bedford, Nova Scotia.
104. Happy birthday, Edith.
Incredible. All right, well, to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance. And a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is catching attention in Fredericton by capturing litter in his web.
CTV's Laura Brown tells us more about the hero we didn't know we needed.
His spidey senses told him the world could use a pick-me-up. So he put on the mask.
I just wanted to come out, hopefully inspire people, do a good deed, make people laugh, and just kind of spread joy in whatever way I can.
The idea to become Fredericton's friendly neighborhood superhero started by untangling some bad guy behavior.
I drove down here the other day and noticed right along this whole strip there's a lot of garbage piled up.
So for about a month now, a couple hours a week, morning or night, whenever he can escape his real life, Spider-Man appears.
And do your family and friends know who you are and do they know you're doing this?
And nobody knows. No, I'm very sneaky.
Just as Peter Parker intended.
Definitely noticed the Green Goblin lurking around. So.
Frederictonians are taking notice and leaning into the Marvel.
Spider-Man is cool, but I'm more of a Batman guy. But no. It just causes people to be more social and to talk to people, right? I think that's just the valuable thing in community is just getting more people to talk to each other.
I've seen him on TikTok. I said, if I go to Fredericton, maybe I'll get lucky and see him. Well, I did.
He claims he's not looking for fame or fortune, but something that means a lot to this Spider-Man is showing children they can do good simply because it's the right thing to do.
The saying with Spider-Man is everyone can wear the mask. It doesn't have to be someone special. It can be boy or girl, any gender, any person, anywhere in the world can help out in their own way.
A reminder that with great power comes great responsibility. Laura Brown, CTV News, Fredericton.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast yet again for New Brunswick. 11 degrees today with scattered showers. A chance of showers returns on Friday with a high of 13. 14 degrees on Saturday with a mix of sun and cloud. For Nova Scotia, 9 degrees as your daytime high with showers and periods of rain today. 10 degrees on Friday, mainly cloudy with a chance of showers returning. Sunshine into the weekend on Saturday with a high of 12. Evening showers for parts of the province. Prince Edward Island looking at 7 degrees today with periods of rain. Scattered showers continue in the forecast on Friday. Sunshine on Saturday with a high of 8.
Thursday, May 28th, today on Your Morning Atlantic, Newfoundland and Labrador declares gender-based violence an epidemic. Details just ahead in your news headlines.
And Jamaica Spice Kitchen will meet another entrepreneur who's launched their business with the help of the Center for Women in Business and their Spice program. That tasty interview in about 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
on this Thursday morning. It is 8:01. I know we're eager to have some warm comfort food, especially when it's been so cold. I thought soup season was over.
Oh no,
right?
not with this forecast in late May. Wow.
Yeah. I made a big batch of soup earlier this weekend. I brought some for my lunch today.
Right?
Yippee-dee, because it is very much soup weather today.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm feeling the Jamaican food heading our way.
Yeah, well, you know it. You'd be able to have a discerning taste bud.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
What's your favorite Jamaican dish?
It would definitely be oxtail and rice and peas for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds so good.
Sounds good.
We're gonna get a taste coming up.
I know, very exciting. Okay, yes, the weather, not nice.
Okay. All right, tell us all about it, Latavia.
Well, it's just that it's cold across the region. That's the worst part about it. Gloomy and a wet day ahead for much of the region. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. Layers are definitely important, as well as your rain gear, because we are seeing precipitation across much of the region today. 6 degrees in Halifax and Charlottetown, 8 starting off your day in Fredericton, with 4 in the Labrador City and 1 degree in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a lace wet wind warning for parts of Cape Breton Island until this afternoon. Going to see pretty strong wind gusts over there. And here's a look at our satellite and radar. We are seeing a chance of showers, periods of rain across much of Atlantic Canada today. A chance of flurries early this morning for parts of Newfoundland, already beginning to clear out though. We are going to see precipitation over in parts of Newfoundland and Labrador as well. In terms of the wind forecast, as of right now, it is 56 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 31 in North Cape, 24 in Canso, with wind gusts as of right now getting up to 81 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang and 30 in Sydney. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. Newfoundland and Labrador is the latest province to declare gender-based violence an epidemic. The provincial government announced the move yesterday, following in the footsteps of other jurisdictions, including Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Newfoundland and Labrador's Minister of Women and Gender Equality says the declaration acknowledges the urgency of the problem and the need for collective action to prevent it. The province is also establishing a 12-person committee whose members represent government, survivors, and Indigenous women. Today marks 3 years since the start of the devastating wildfires in Upper Tantallon. Despite the mass destruction to homes, a major challenge still exists. In fact, a citizens group is demanding an end to development on one road until an emergency exit is built. Long lines and traffic jams formed when residents were told to leave during the last fires. Residents say an egress is desperately needed.
We need a connection from the 103 to the 101 yesterday.
That's how important it is. As soon as possible. We can't kick this can down the road another 3 years. Something has to be done. Something has to be done right away.
A staff report on egresses is set to come to council in July. John Young says he hopes to have locals' perspectives heard. Talks between the Nova Scotia government and striking long-term care workers did not last long. CUPE, the union representing 3,500 workers on the picket line, says talks with a conciliator broke down fairly quickly on Wednesday. The union says its amended offer lowered the previous proposal by millions of dollars, but the government turned it down. Pay and working conditions are the main issues. No further talks are scheduled. An unscheduled price adjustment overnight means you'll be paying less to fill up at pumps in PEI and New Brunswick. Starting with PEI, gas fell for a second time this week, this time by 4.6 cents a litre. The minimum price now $1.91.4. And diesel on the island slipped by 2.3 cents. The minimum price $2.25.9. In New Brunswick, gas dropped by 9.1 cents. The maximum price $1.86 a litre. And diesel decreased by 7.3 cents. The maximum price $2.26.1. Prices in Nova Scotia did not change. Long-promised reform of New Brunswick's property tax system was tabled yesterday. The Liberals insist it will ensure stable and predictable home assessments, but municipalities, which have been lobbying for the change, argue the legislation falls short.
Doesn't talk about a fix for the growing inequities that are created by the spike protection mechanism. As an example, There's no language with respect to exemptions.
New Brunswickers have told us that they are worried about unpredictable property tax bills, unclear processes for property assessments, and confusion over where the money from their property taxes is being spent.
Tax rates will shift from assessed value to service needs, population growth, and the consumer price index. Councils could still increase tax rates, but would have to explain why. The changes take effect next March. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston has shuffled his cabinet. Houston has resigned as energy minister, handing the portfolio over to his ministerial assistant, Marco McLeod, the MLA for Pictou West.
The energy is an incredibly important file for our province, so I thought it was really important that it had the focus and the attention. We needed to get the attention of the world, really, on the energy potential of Nova Scotia, and I thought from the Premier's chair as Premier and Minister, we could do that.
We got to pursue the opportunities that we have. It's not okay to sit in an office all day. You actually got to get out there and meet with proponents and meet with all the possibilities, whether it's for offshore wind or offshore oil and gas. You got to go chase them down.
Elsewhere, Tory Rushton returns as Natural Resources Minister. Same goes for Brian Wong, who takes over the Advanced Education portfolio again. And Susan Corkum-Greek is in as Minister of Opportunities and Social Development. Finally, things went south relatively quickly for the Montreal Canadiens in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Final Wednesday night.
Now Hudson moving in, shot blocked, and Blake picks it up. Costas Pair getting in front of that attempt. Here's Blake with Stankoven. Score!
The Hurricanes scored 3 goals in a span of just 2 minutes and 47 seconds late in the first period last night. And the game ended 4-0 with the Hurricanes adding an empty netter in the third period. The Hurricanes held the Habs to just 18 shots. Frustrated fans in Montreal were chanting, "Shoot the puck." You'll see that in just a moment. At one point, there it is, you could see them. And boy, Habs fans just devastated there last night. Carolina now leads the series 3-1. So this means it's a must-win Game 5 for the Canadiens. That goes tomorrow night in Carolina.
Oh, dear.
Ooh, they started off so strong, the Habs did.
They really did.
Yeah.
Okay, believe, keep the faith, keep the faith.
Keep the faith, yeah. So hopefully things go well for the Habs Friday night.
We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, let's talk about our contest. Last time today, and almost the last time ever, because we got one more day after today. So here it is. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning. We can pay your bills with a massive $20,000. So how do you enter? Well, here's how you do it. You go to the contest page at ctvatlantic.ca or scan the QR code you'll see in just a second. You enter the code word of the day. Today, the code word is Thrive. Enter that. A tiny bit of info. It just takes seconds. You're entered to win. And today is your second last chance. Tomorrow will be one more day of contesting. And then next week, we announce the winner. Could be your name.
Woo! Oh, you work hard for your money. Imagine just putting in things or information for a few seconds. Right? And that results in $20,000.
Wow, I wish.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Good luck to you. Still ahead this half hour, we're heading to the kitchen for Jamaican cuisine. But first, before that, Latavia has the full look at the Thursday forecast, and I'll have a look at your national news headlines. Good morning to our viewers in Western Newfoundland. Here's a live look at Corner Brook. We'll be right back.
Good morning and welcome back. The time now is 8:12. We're taking a live look at the Armdale Roundabout in Halifax. 6 degrees as of right now. Looks like precipitation has stopped at this time. We are still expecting showers in your area, so something to keep in mind when you are heading out today. It is cold right across the region. Temperatures will rise, remaining way below seasonal for much of our daytime highs. Right now it is 5 degrees in Sydney with 6 in Charlottetown, 7 degrees in Moncton, as well as into Happy Valley Goose Bay, 5 degrees now in Corner Brook. We do have a wind warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island until this afternoon. Expected wind gusts that could get up to 90 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at our forecast timeline for Newfoundland and Labrador. Seeing a chance of showers for parts of those provinces. Other than that, though, mainly cloudy for the most part today. For the Maritime region, a chance of showers, periods of rain for Prince Edward Island, Cape Breton, and eastern Nova Scotia. And that shower activity expected to become quite steady into the afternoon and evening. Temperatures remain cool today. Will continue to cool down into the overnight hours. For our forecast on Friday, another wet day is ahead for much of the Maritime region. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, we're going to see around 2 to 10 millimeters for parts of New Brunswick. Heaviest for Prince Edward Island being 10 to 20. Same thing goes for eastern Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island, and for Cape Breton also seeing its heaviest. It's Sydney, 30 to 40 millimeters expected. For Port aux Basques, looking at around 2 to 5 millimeters. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs will range from 7 to 13 degrees. Scattered showers expected throughout your day with light wind out of the north, only 20 kilometers per hour. For Prince Edward Island, look at highs between 7 to 8 degrees, periods of rain with wind gusts picking up to 40. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, also seeing rain throughout your day with highs between 6 to 9. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, daytime highs will range from 9 to 15 degrees and looking at shower activity on and off throughout the day. Labrador City looking at mainly cloudy skies today with a high of 11 and 5 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a chance of flurries early on, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies, seeing periods of drizzle into the overnight hours. Friday will be ending off the work week on a cold and wet front. We are expecting that wet weather to continue into the afternoon and evening on Friday with cool daytime highs, but into the weekend on Saturday, still holding on to a chance of showers for parts of Atlantic Canada, but also seeing the return of sunshine for parts of the Maritimes and a bit of a warm up. So that's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Canada's Natural Resources Minister has confirmed a deal to supply liquefied natural gas to Germany.
In a moment that feels uncertain and volatile, the world trusts Canada.
A German utility agreed to buy 1 million tons of LNG a year for 20 years from a yet-to-be-built plant in northern British Columbia. Germany is trying to diversify its energy suppliers. The company used to get their supply from Russia. And that new deal is getting some attention around here, raising the question whether the Maritimes is missing the boat on an opportunity. CTV's Avery McRae explains.
St. John LNG has imported liquefied natural gas for nearly 20 years. The facility needs an upgrade to export the resource, which is why Europe's largest energy market is going thousands of kilometers past the Bay of Fundy to get what it needs.
Through this agreement, CFE will purchase 1 million tons per annum of LNG for up to 20 years, beginning in the early 2030s.
It will come from a still-to-be-built LNG facility in northwest BC that will ship the resource down the Pacific and then over the Atlantic to Germany.
It's much cheaper to move LNG over water in a tanker than it is to pay tolls to ship it all across the country.
The deal means the East Coast is missing out on a major opportunity. Opposition leader Pierre Poilievre says there was a time St. John would have been the beneficiary of such a contract.
Then there was the reversal of the Repsol terminal, which was going to take an existing import terminal, turn it into an export terminal, send it off to Europe in St. John. The Liberals killed that.
When asked his thoughts on the deal today, New Brunswick's Energy Minister Renee Legacy says they continue to talk LNG with Ottawa.
It's more complicated bringing a pipeline across multiple provinces than maybe other jurisdictions. Still feel that New Brunswick can play a really key role in Canada to get this country to be the energy superpower that we want it to be.
Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston says his province has an LNG facility, and with a little TLC believes they can get into the fuel fight.
We've lost 10 years, for sure, but we're moving forward now. We're moving forward with, we have applications on onshore. We'll move forward with that in a safe, sustainable way.
Business strategy professor Ian Lee says the East Coast needs to move quickly in establishing a place in the global LNG market.
The question is, will the Prime Minister and his government spend the political capital needed to seize the moment and seize the opportunity?
Ian Lee says the technology exists to get LNG on the East Coast up and running sooner than later, adding the market isn't going to sit around and wait and will look elsewhere if the gas isn't going. Avery McRae, CTV News, St. John.
Thank you, Avery. Another break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll be live from the YMA kitchen and getting a taste from the island. That's coming up next when we catch up with the Spice program. We'll be right back.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. It's 8:21, and we are getting a taste of the islands from our next guest. The Jamaica Spice Kitchen is a catering company that launched with the help of the Spice program at the Center for Women in Business. Owner and chef Celia Deer joins us now to share details on her delicious dishes and Caribbean spice, along with some great tasting. So I'm excited about this. Celia, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I cannot wait to taste your delicious, authentic Jamaican food. Tell us a little bit about how the business got started.
Okay, well, my mom and dad were great cooks from I was little, and I always loved cooking. And when I came here, I was looking for Jamaican food and I wasn't finding a lot, so I said, you know, I wanted to start a restaurant, and with the Spice program I was able to start.
Wonderful. And that was, you've been in the business for a couple of years now, and how did the Spice program help you, launch your business and get it rolling?
Okay, Spice has been awesome. They provide all the tools that I needed to start the business, the resources. We had people telling us how to price our products, how to do our accounting, our logos, everything from 0 to 100, Spice was able to help with.
That's wonderful. Okay, well, let's taste some of your food, because you brought in some things that I have never seen before. I know these are the jerk chicken wings. I've had jerk chicken, but not yours. What else have you brought in today?
Well, today we have Rasta pasta. Rasta pasta, because of the colors and the flavors, it's a little spicy, and it is inspired by our Rastafarians in Jamaica. Yeah, they're very, very good cooks. We have bun and cheese, which is Easter in Jamaica.
Oh, wow.
Everywhere in Jamaica, where you go in the Easter, you'll get bun and cheese. And this cheese today is Jamaica cheddar cheese, very creamy.
So I was asking you about the Jamaica dairy industry, and you said you have a lot of cows in Jamaica.
A lot of cows.
Yeah. And you yourself are from the center of the island originally.
Oh, yeah.
And a question I had going into break was, does the cuisine vary throughout the island? And what was your answer to that?
From end to end, we all love the same food.
I love that. Okay,
Yes.
so I would love to try some of the things. Can I try a few things now?
Sure, sure.
This is a mango jerk sauce?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give that a little try with this.
Yeah, I made it, yes.
What's your favorite thing that you make?
Boy, everything.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, yes. And the flavor is there. The spice in Spice Kitchen is not heat, it is flavor. So our food is quite flavorful.
Deep with flavor, and I really love that sauce. We need to get Latavia in here. She's going to be the real judge.
Yes.
Okay.
And we have a barbecue sauce right there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, I could try a little bit of that.
Yes.
But the idea of the mango jerk, that sounds like something I'd love. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Tons of flavor, Celia.
Thank you.
Okay, where can we find you if we wanted?
Well, I'm at the Seaport Farmers Market most Sundays. If I'm not there, I'm either at a festival or doing catering somewhere else. But most Sundays I'm there. Yeah. And popular at the Seaport Farmers Market for me currently is the sorrel right here that I have. It is related to the hibiscus family, and in Jamaica it blooms in the Christmas. And everybody makes it. Some make it with wine, some make it with rum. I made mine today with ginger.
I would love to try that. That sounds wonderful. So this is non-alcoholic version.
It is.
It smells
okay,
so good.
Latavia's coming in. She's like, this smells like home.
Oh my God, you brought sorrel?
Yes. Here you go.
Okay, so excited. My mom would be so jealous.
This
right
is
now.
Delicious.
Yes, cheers.
Cheers. This is delicious. That is great. This is something you can purchase at the market from you?
Yes, every Sunday.
Amazing.
And our Jamaican patties. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, there's one other thing we didn't get to, and that's what you brought in over here, Celia.
Yes, that's festival.
I love festival.
Yes, so. Jamaican festival. It is made with a little cornmeal, flour, sugar, baking powder, and it's normally, you can use it for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
It's just like back home.
Is it like dessert, kind of?
It's like breakfast, lunch, dinner. You eat it with, like you can eat it with your chicken here. You can eat it with saltfish, mackerel, yeah.
Okay, so for people who, if you're not able to get to the market, you can find Celia and Jamaica Spice Kitchen on Instagram. But what I love about is that you are willing to work with people when you cater to meet the dietary preferences.
Yes, yes. We have gluten-free, dairy-free. All my meat are halal. Yes.
I think you need to try this jerk chicken. I think it's not spicy. I know you don't like spicy. It's just flavorful. And then there's a mango sauce and the barbecue sauce.
Yes.
Good, right?
Yeah, really good.
Yes, I'm so happy that you enjoy it. And I am willing to cater for all your needs at home, all your needs.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yes.
Check out.
And we cater for 4 persons upwards. So it can be a little party. I'll be happy to.
4 to 400.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, I'm going to eat everything.
I know, it's delicious. Celia, thank you so much.
I want you to try the bun and cheese before you go.
Okay. All right. So bone and cheese.
Bun and cheese.
Bun and cheese?
Yes.
So, okay.
It's an Easter
like a fruit
treat.
cake with beautiful Jamaican cheese.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so that bun was homemade, and yeah.
That is fresh.
It's the great cheese, too.
That is fresh. Oh, that cheese.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just want to try the cheese on its own just because I get.
All right.
You know what's funny? Usually, I find like bun and cheese so dry.
This is not dry.
No.
This is moist as heck.
Yeah.
This is so moist. But the drink, what's it called?
Sorrel.
Sour. That's delicious.
Yes.
Celia, thank you for this invitation to try some new flavors. We really appreciate it.
Yes, and I appreciate you having me, and I could not have been here without the Spice program.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So as we go to break, we will give you information on our website about the Spice program, about Jamaican Spice Kitchen. But Celia, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Look at all she brought for us today. It tastes better even than it looks.
Oh my God.
Still ahead this morning, the Walk for Dog Guides. We'll get all the details on the fun weekend event that's also raising money for a very worthwhile cause. That's coming up in 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. I was running back to our chair because I just wanted to fill my plate with all of her food.
The smells and tastes of home, that must be really a special experience for you.
It really is. It's really hard to find like true Jamaican cuisine.
Yeah.
It really is. Even back home, where I'm
Right.
from in Toronto, there's not many places that really deliver where it makes you feel like you're eating at the table, your family prepared that meal.
Yeah, how special it
great.
is.
Yeah.
So how was Celia's?
Oh, it was epic.
Oh, I love it.
And Easter.
Yeah.
Had a little taste of like a good lunch, like, oh my goodness, breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did it all. It's awesome.
Amazing.
Okay, bun and cheese?
Bun and cheese, yes.
Bun and cheese. That, first of all, the cheese is so creamy. I've never had anything like it before.
Yes, it's always really
so good.
thick.
Thick and just a different, you need to try it. But the actual fruitcake part of it did not taste like traditional fruitcake to me. It was very, very moist.
Yeah.
Very flavorful.
It's typically very dry.
Oh, well, hers was not.
Hers was incredible. Yeah, I usually skip bun and cheese during Easter because I'm like, nah, it's so dry. Hers was incredible.
Yeah.
Hers
Yeah.
was good.
Oh, so good.
And she said what you were saying too, like, I miss this taste of home. I miss this taste of my culture. So I'm going to create it for myself and to share with everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely took a card home.
Yeah, and we've got the information on our website. You can also find her on Instagram,
Yes.
Jamaican Spice Kitchen. That'll heat up your day a little bit.
Absolutely. We are going to see a pretty cold day ahead for much of Atlantic Canada. Still going to see this wet weather persisting as well, as you can see over in Brookvale. Cold to start, 6 degrees. Temperatures will rise, remaining way below seasonal for much of our daytime highs. And we are going to see that precipitation track into the afternoon. So keep that in mind when you are heading out. Don't forget your rain gear. Allot some extra time out on your morning commute because roads are wet. As of right now, it is 6 degrees in Halifax, 5 in Sydney, 8 in Fredericton, with 5 degrees in Labrador City, 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to that wind warning that is currently in effect until this afternoon for parts of Cape Breton Island, expecting wind gusts of up to 90. So here's a look at that current system tracking across the region, bringing a chance of showers, periods of rain. A chance of showers will become steady into the afternoon for many areas across the maritime region. Newfoundland and Labrador seeing a bit of wet weather as well today. In terms of the wind forecast, it is pretty breezy across parts of the maritime region. Will continue to pick up this afternoon. 63 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang with 31 in North Cape, looking at 22 in Canso. Wind gusts now getting up to 107 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 33 in Sydney, 31 in Canso, and 30 in Bathurst. We'll take one last look at your forecast just ahead, but first, one last look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Newfoundland and Labrador is the latest province to declare gender-based violence an epidemic. The provincial government announced the move yesterday, following in the footsteps of other jurisdictions like Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Newfoundland and Labrador's Minister of Women and Gender Equality says the declaration acknowledges the urgency of the problem and the need for collective action to prevent it. Nova Scotia RCMP have charged a man with murder in relation to a suspicious death more than a year ago. Last January, a deceased 42-year-old woman and an unconscious man were found in a home in Bible Hill. The man was taken to a hospital and later released. On Tuesday, Lee Andrew McDonald was charged with second-degree murder. He appeared in court Wednesday and remains in custody. Today marks 3 years since the start of the devastating wildfires in Upper Tantallon. Despite the mass destruction to homes, a major challenge still exists. In fact, a citizens group is demanding an end to development on one road until an emergency exit is built. Long lines and traffic jams formed when residents were told to leave during the last fires. Residents say an egress is desperately needed.
We need a connection from the 103 to the 101 yesterday.
That's how important it is. As soon as possible. We can't kick this can down the road another 3 years. Something has to be done. Something has to be done right away.
A staff report on egresses is set to come to council in July. John Young says he hopes to have locals' perspectives heard. Talks between the Nova Scotia government and striking long-term care workers did not last long. CUPE, the union representing 3,500 workers on the picket line, says talks with the conciliator broke down fairly quickly Wednesday. The union says its amended offer lowered the previous proposal by millions of dollars, but the government turned it down. Pay and working conditions are the main issues. No further talks are scheduled. An unscheduled price adjustment overnight means you'll be paying less to fill up at pumps in PEI and New Brunswick. Starting with Prince Edward Island, gas fell for a second time this week, this time by 4.6 cents. The minimum price, $1.91.4. And diesel on the island fell by 2.3 cents. The minimum price, $2.25.9. And in New Brunswick, gas dropped by 9.1 cents. The maximum price, $1.86. And diesel decreased by 7.3 cents. The maximum price, $2.26.1. Prices in Nova Scotia did not change. People in one Moncton neighborhood say they're growing tired of seeing a giant pile of trash that's been festering on a curb for over a month.
Every day we come home from work, it seems to be a little bit bigger, so we would hope the city would do something about it, but they haven't done anything about it yet.
I think it's embarrassing, and I think it's disgusting that the city would allow that to pile up and stay there as long as it's been.
Bedposts, chairs, vacuums, and more all have been tossed aside. The pile on Whitney Avenue is now spilling over to the sidewalk. A spokesperson for the city of Moncton confirms that by law enforcement has received a complaint about the trash pile and that they're investigating. Moncton does offer a bulk waste collection program for residents who apply in advance for the service. The home appears to be vacant. Now to some big news for fans of heated rivalry. We now know when a highly coveted piece of clothing that appears in the show will go on sale.
All right, so tonight we can do the men's short form figure skating? Or? My buddy Joe's in that program. We'll train together.
I mean, do we even have to tell you what piece of clothing it is? It's this one. That's Hudson Williams as Shane Hollander in the series produced by Crave, CTV's Bell Media partner. As fans celebrate the show, many want to get their hands on the Team Canada fleece he's wearing. Retailer Province of Canada confirmed just yesterday that pre-sales will start online next week.
Probably so expensive.
Well, it's likely not cheap, but listen, this is some good news. 10% of proceeds will go to You Can Play, an organization aimed at addressing homophobia and other forms of discrimination in hockey.
Incredible.
So,
I would love one of those.
It's iconic.
Yeah.
It really is.
And they just made that up, right? Like that was just for the pretend Olympics.
Exactly. You'll notice too when you watch it and they're at the Olympics, I mean, the intellectual property is wild. So you don't see Olympic rings.
Yeah.
It's very careful with their language and logos. But yeah, that Team Canada kind of fleece that he wore, people just adored online. They tried to make their own.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Cool.
You can wear it to the cottage.
Oh, cozy, absolutely cozy. Okay, well, here's an impressive collection of space rocks that are perfectly safe to visit. Now, you had that meteorite that fell in the Toronto area last night.
Yeah.
Well, these are 50 meteorites on display at the Natural History Pavilion in Spain. They come from a private collection of a person known as the meteorite hunter. Now, the highlight is a 600-kilogram rock that's almost 4 billion years old.
Whoa.
And the name of the exhibition is called Impact. But the meteorite hunter says that that's a bit dramatic because major meteorite landings happen only once every few million years. But minor ones happen quite a bit, and we have them on our show when we can.
Yeah, thank goodness the big one's not so much.
That's the big one. That's the big kahuna right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So not in our region, that's in Spain.
But we'll take a look at what is in the community calendar. The Canine Circus presents Dogs Do Magic in Riverview.
What?
I know,
I know,
is pretty cool.
you have my attention, yeah.
This will be Sunday, May 31st. Head over to the Riverview Arts Center to enjoy mind-blowing magic, comedy, and jaw-dropping tricks. You only have one chance to see this show, so grab your tickets, head over to their website. And a multi-family yard sale takes place this weekend in West Royalty. You can come out Saturday, May 30th and pick up some treasures. The yard sale will run from 8 a.m. until 1. Lots to search through and shop. I love a good yard sale. Especially a street yard sale.
Oh, so many right now. It's the season.
I know. And CaperCon, rather, returns to Sydney this week from Friday, May 29th until the 31st. You can head over to Center 200 to browse all things comics, cosplay, gaming, movies, D&D, Marvel, and so much more. To purchase tickets or to learn more, head over to their website. And if you have an upcoming event, send us the details. We'd love to promote it. Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
All right, thanks for that, Latavia. We're going to have another break, and here's another event you can add to the calendar, Walking for a Worthy Cause. Major Street in Central Halifax is going to the dogs this Sunday, and hey, that's a very good thing. We'll explain when we return.
Good morning and welcome back. The time now is 8:43. We're taking a live look at Hampton. As of right now, it is 9 degrees starting off your day. It is quite wet, though. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. We're seeing a chance of showers in your area. So we do have wet weather in the forecast. It is quite cold across the region, so make sure to layer up, bring your rain gear, and take that time out on your morning commute as we are seeing that roads are wet. 6 degrees right now in Halifax and in Charlottetown, with 8 degrees in Fredericton, 5 degrees heading outdoors in Labrador City, and only 2 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to the wind warning that is currently in effect. We are expecting lace-to-wit wind gusts getting up to 90 kilometers per hour until this afternoon, seeing it even higher early this morning. So here's a look at our forecast timeline. We are seeing cloudy skies over in Newfoundland and Labrador, a bit of precipitation there as well, a chance of some showers. But for the Maritime region, a chance of showers, some steadier rain across Prince Edward Island, Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia. That chance of showers will become steady showers into the afternoon for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Into tonight, temperatures will cool down yet again, and that brings us into Friday's forecast. It's going to be another wet day ahead, a colder day as well. So if you're wondering about rainfall totals, we're looking at around 10 to 20 millimeters at its heaviest for parts of Prince Edward Island, 5 to 10 for Moncton, and then for Nova Scotia, 10 to 20 millimeters for eastern Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island, heaviest being 30 to 40 for Sydney. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, going to remain quite light, only seeing 2 to 5 millimeters for Port aux Basques. For a forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs will range from 7 to 13 degrees. Scattered showers expected with light wind. Prince Edward Island, we're looking at highs between 7 to 8 degrees. Periods of rain. Wind gusts will pick up to 40 kilometers per hour. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, highs will range from 6 to 9. Periods of rain throughout your day as well, with showers expected for the rest of Nova Scotia with highs between 9 to 15, wind gusts of 40. Labrador City looking at a high of 11 with mainly cloudy skies and a chance of flurries early in the morning for St. John's, Newfoundland, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies with periods of drizzle expected this evening. Friday's forecast, as I mentioned, cold and wet yet again to end off the work week. We are going to see a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of Cape Breton Island. For Newfoundland, Labrador, we are going to see a bit of precipitation, especially for parts of Newfoundland, but for Labrador, cloud coverage starts to break down, seeing a bit more sunshine. Into Saturday's forecast, we are expecting some sunshine for parts of the Maritime region, but also holding on to a bit of shower activity. Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. It's 8:46. Now, for the second year in a row, Halifax's Quinpool Road is going to the dogs in the best way possible. This Sunday, the Quinpool Road Main Street District Association is partnering with Pet Value and the Lions Club to help raise funds during the Pet Value Walk for Dog Guides. The walk begins and ends at the Oxford Tap Room at 1, with registration beginning at noon at Pet Value. We're joined now by Bridget Landry, the manager of Pet Value on Quinpool Road and the organizer of the walk, along with Madison Law and her hearing dog guide, Echo. Good morning to you both, or should I say to the three of you. Thanks for coming in. Let's begin with you, Bridget. Why did you start to do this walk in support of dog guides?
Yeah, you know, Pet Value has had such a long-standing relationship with the Lions Foundation and the Walk for Dog Guides. And us on Quinpool Road, we're actually kind of new. We've only been around for a couple of years, but we have this amazing community surrounding us and obviously the wonderful Quinpool Business Association. So it was kind of just a no-brainer for us all to get together to support such a worthy cause.
Quinpool is very dog-friendly. They have this Paws here on Quinpool program, and they have a lot of dog-centered events. And the tap room, you can bring your dog, which is fantastic.
It's amazing.
So, Madison, I want to talk about you and Echo. There are 82 active dog guides in Nova Scotia, I understand. Echo is one of them. How does Echo improve your life?
Yeah, well, we started out in Toronto. That's where I'm originally from. But my mom's from Sydney, so I still have some East Coast roots.
Yeah.
But basically, she gives me independence and confidence and security to go about life without having to worry about missing a sound. We were paired in 2021. And she's been through a lot of formative events in my life. She went through my undergraduate degree with me at McMaster University. We moved halfway across the country, so we moved to Toronto, from Toronto to here in 2024. And then she's doing a master's with me now at Mount St. Vincent and working full-time with me. So she's given me the confidence to face all of those challenges while keeping me safe at the workplace, at home, outside, everywhere.
Yeah. What was life like before you got Echo?
Honestly, I can't really remember. I can't imagine not having her, but it was really isolating because I'm hard of hearing, so I'm not fully deaf, but I'm not fully hearing. So I've kind of always been in a world where it was hard to communicate with everyone around me because my family is hearing and my deaf relatives are down here. So I don't use sign language, I don't lip read, and so it was very lonely. But as soon as I got Echo, my world opened up and brightened, and I've done a lot of growth, and I couldn't have done it without her.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience, and Echo does seem to be the nicest girl. Bridget, what is your fundraising goal this year to support dogs like Echo?
Yeah, so this year we're hoping to raise $1,500 in support of the walk.
Well, that seems very reasonable.
Yeah.
How do you participate in the walk?
Yeah, so there's lots of ways to donate. You can head online to walkfordogguides.com. You can join our team, the Halifax Quinpool team, and donate there. We've got donation jars in businesses all along Quinpool Road. And then if you'd like to participate day of, come to the store at 12 p.m. on the 31st, and we'll get you registered.
That sounds great. Okay, and then you can check it all out. And you can make, if you aren't able to attend the walk, you can make donations and support as well, just through that portal. Okay, we'll put that information on our website. Madison, we have a little tiny bit of extra time, so maybe I'll just ask you a little bit of, maybe you could explain how Echo operates. Like, how does she do her thing for you?
Yeah, so for me specifically, she alerts me to sounds that I have trouble hearing with and without my cochlear device. Specifically, I work the front desk at the fitness facility at the Stadacona base.
Okay.
And so she alerts me to every phone ring. She alerts me to people's interval timers. So I always know when someone's doing interval training because every minute Echo is alerting me.
What does the alert look like? Obviously not this.
Echo. Basically, she just puts her paw up, and then I give her a treat. And then it depends on the alert. For fire alarm, she does a spin.
Yeah.
To kind of let me know it's an emergency.
Wow.
But most of the time, it's just a paw on the leg, whether I'm sitting or standing. And if someone's calling my name, she'll bring me to the person. Same with the door knock, yeah.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Will it work right now if I call your name? Maybe not. Maybe if I go.
Sometimes.
Okay, I'll try. Bridget. Bridget.
It's only my name.
Oh, sorry. Madison. Madison. Madison.
Good girl. What is it? What is it? Good job.
She's right here. Yeah, she's like Madison. Echo's like, that girl's not very smart because I can tell that she can see you. But very effective. That was a great demonstration. Thank you, Madison.
Yeah, no
Thank
worries.
you, Echo. And yeah. So all right, wonderful. It's just lovely to see how well the guide dogs, dog guides make a difference in people's lives. And I was asking Madison about. Echo, and when you take the harness off, she's just a dog, right?
She's just a dog. She does still alert. It's still ingrained, but she definitely knows when the vest is on. She's in serious mode.
Well, we appreciate you. Did great on the show today. Thank you both for coming in today.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with the walk. It starts at noon at the Pet Value on Quinpool Road. That's for registration and the Oxford Tack Room. That's where the fun will begin at 1 p.m. We'll put all the details on our website. It's 8:51. We'll take a short break and be right back after this.
Well, it's been a great Thursday show here.
It has.
In Your Morning
Sad
Atlantic.
to see Echo walk away.
Me too.
I'm glad we had time for the demonstration.
Me too. I'm glad you showed
because
that.
it really was effective. Like
yeah.
immediate Echo was like. Pfft.
And then this one over here, like she trots over here, like this one's trying to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So smart.
All right. Now, Echo has learned quite a bit. You know, she had to go to school for that.
She did.
So we're asking our viewers at home, we were saying, if you could be a substitute teacher for a day, what would you teach and why? Here's what you had to say. Tara from Halifax said, I would teach mental health. Depending on the age of the students, I would also educate about addiction.
Absolutely.
Well,
important lessons, yes.
Very important. And then we also have Sherry from Dartmouth. I would teach English, not English lit, just English. Or maybe it should be called English as a first language.
Oh, wow.
It's appalling how many people don't understand how much proper grammar, punctuation, and sentence structure matter. It's true with so much social media, too, and quick texting.
That would be a great class.
Yeah. Sometimes the basics just get forgotten.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have Samantha. I did substitute teach for grades 10 to 12, and I taught sex education and math. Some things have changed since I went to school, but I did enjoy it. It was very interesting because when I attended school in the 90s, there were no phones. Now kids must put them in a holder because I found kids wouldn't pay attention to what was being taught. I have to say teachers deserve a huge pat on their backs. Speaking of grammar, we should have a different there. They truly are amazing people.
They are.
Yeah.
Tough job, yeah.
Absolutely. So much that they have to balance. And Candace K. Breton, loved drama and theater when I was in school. It was so much more than just performing. Learned a lot about team leadership, problem solving, and scheduling. Behind the scenes stuff like lighting, sound, costuming, set design, improv. I'm still in contact with my teachers from high school.
Amazing.
That's so nice.
Yeah, that is really nice.
All right, we have a bit time of this. Amanda, this is definitely not for you. Like,
is it Ticks?
No, it's cheesecake. But KD cheesecake. Draft Canada says it's the first of its kind dessert with incorporating the classic cheese flavor of Kraft Dinner into both its graham cracker crust and the cheesecake batter, creating what KD says is a slice of cheesecake like no other, overflowing with cheesy taste, and KD fans will know it and love it. So if you want to try it, the company said this cheesecake's available through bakery partners, but not in our region, Toronto, Montreal, and Winnipeg and Calgary. But I did check it out, people. You know I go the extra mile from our viewers. The free recipe is online. So you can go and try it today if you have the ingredients at home.
Those are literally my 2 least favorite things ever.
That is like literally the stuff of nightmares for Amanda, and that's pretty gross, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm willing to try it.
Sifter with the cheese.
I'm going to make it. I've got the ingredients at home. Bye-bye. Have a great day.